Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on Dante Must Die difficulty. This is mission 11 of 20, and we're going through the campaign using Vergil, and we're doing so without using any items. So to me, using items is a sign that the player is depending on something beyond what he should be accomplishing in the game with his own skill level. And indeed, sometimes when I am using this character, especially when I'm doing that lunar phase constantly and that really fast spin in the air, it definitely feels like it's easy mode, and that they did have that move to use for people who have maybe just don't want to do the game as much and participate on a very minimum level. And I wouldn't even be saying that, because it does kind of reveal what I'm doing sometimes, just kind of giving up with this character and just wanting to just get through with this. And I do have some personal issues in the background that are kind of affecting my mentality here, but it's also just because this is brutally difficult. It's the hardest difficulty mode, obviously, and just a couple of factors, and the heat is bothering me too, and things like that. But I'm trying to stay positive here. And speaking as a whole, this chapter didn't give me too many issues. It presented me with, really, I thought this would be a lot more difficult than it turned out to be. And Sanctus is not even that bad either, because he seems to drop quite a lot. And if you fought him before, you know he has his number one tendency is just to continually backpedal from where he's at, just continually backtrack in the air. And this character, it's not so bad actually, because he's so fast to close in the distance, and that really fast spin that he has in the air. That switch right there, if you step on it or go into it, it will take you to the beginning of the chapter. So you want to avoid doing that. And I think they had to alter this a little bit, because as Nero, what you do is you step on that switch and you grab one of the enemies to you, and you have to have like a counterweight. But since this character operates a little bit differently with his Grim trick, you'll notice that the pressure switch doesn't even drop over here. So the only difficulty that I might want to warn people about is on this particular chapter is that I don't think that they checkpoint the gameplay until the boss of the chapter. So if you die at any point, you're gonna have to possibly start at the beginning. So these actually went really well. I didn't have to do any editing over here. I was really shocked at how well I did on this chapter as a whole. I mean, I'm not trying to say that I'm particularly good at this chapter or anything. I'm just saying that I foresaw a lot more issues than I actually had here. So it was actually a lot of relief washed over me, to be sure. And the business about not using items, to me, it in the end, it doesn't really matter too much as a whole. I mean, if you'll do whatever you want to do in this game. If you want to use a holy water, there's nobody in the background that's going to chastise you. I mean, perhaps if, in my particular case, since I have a channel, there's always the possibility that people are going to come along and criticize and mock, control, things like that. That particular orb right there, I had a lot of troubles getting that, and I did have to put an edit over there, because I was having a lot of issues getting up there, and I was wasting a lot of time. Although I still got an S rank for the time on this chapter, so it's pretty forgiving in that regard. Okay, so yeah, I had a few platforming problems here. And when you come up here now, I think this will be one of the last fights of the chapter. So as you approach the switch right there, you're going to have more of these guys dropping in. And none of the camera angles here are adjustable for you. It's all fixed camera. So as far as camera manipulation, that's completely out of the question on all of these engagements. And I would probably say that this fight is the hardest one. So if you just quickly jump around and do the perfect charge in the air, you're going to do a lot of damage to these enemies here. Particularly if you have the devil trigger activated. So, I did ask a question before. People were saying that in response to my question about who among my subscribers would like to have a checkpoint feature in this game, and several people said they could do without it. Other people said it is kind of annoying when you want to restart a boss, you have to just stand there and let him kill you. I empathize with that immediately because that's constantly going on in my own gameplay, especially when I say to myself mentally, like, I can't have this footage. Oh my god, this is horrible. It's absolutely atrocious. So what do I have to do? Just stand there and let myself get killed. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm just so against what this game does with no reset from checkpoint. So you have to consider it from my perspective, because I'm considering from your guys' perspective. I realize that these are rush, like this is a rush mode to get to the end with the score and everything, and secure a good time, get all the orbs, have a stylish performance. And I realize that that's awesome. If people like to do that, I can completely understand why, because this game is tailored to do that. But there's always people that just say, yeah, I just want to go through it and do my own thing on this game, and that's exactly what I do. So if I want to skip a fight, I'll skip this fight. And what we're going to do on this guy here is continually do the Grim trick over to him, and just do the lunar phase. This is not even an annoying fight. This is actually really good. So when he drops, do the distorted beast uppercut on him. And I know it's not called the beast uppercut, but I think it is called the beast uppercut in the third game. So I'm just referencing what it was in the previous game. So when he does that rain, just drop. I would say just drop and just quickly roll away, or activate the Grim trick. And we have secured a checkpoint. So as Nero, you can actually buster that attack that the giant does. I'm not sure what it is, but you can actually buster that as Nero, and I don't think anything can be done to it as Vergil, and perhaps there is something that can be done to it, but I didn't want to risk it because it takes off considerable damage from you. So all you have to do on this guy is just latch onto him, just chase after him in the air, continually do the lunar phase. When he drops, do your charge uppercut, and then as you're doing the uppercut, activate the double trigger to do more damage. And it's a very simple process, and it's not even that frustrating. Dare I say this works better with this character than it does with Nero, just because of that fast spin that this character has in the air. So at this point, we've fought every boss that exists in this game. So unless there's some drastic difference with this guy on the final chapter, this guy, dare I say, this might get finished, and I'm very excited about it. You know, there have been a lot of cheap moments in this game, and I'm not going to say that I wasn't cheap in a lot of areas, because I was just forced to. But I'm still proud of this project, and I'm proud that I stuck with it, because other people would just say it's just way too fucking hard. But you've got to get on him when he has that purple halo. That means he's double triggering, so you've got to get on this guy quick and finish him off. That's a done deal. We are on mission 12. Take care.